Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning. Sunday Sangha. Sunday Sangha. Can you just stop it? uh, Friday, Shiva Bhagavatam, and hopefully some japa later on. So I'm just checking a few things here. Okay, let's make a start. So now we've been talking about Vitasur all these weeks. And today we'll be discussing King Citraketu's lamentation. So Vitusur in his previous life was King Citraketu, and now we will discuss about him. So King Parikshit inquired from Shukadeva Goswami, O learned Brahman, demons are generally sinful, being obsessed with the modes of passion and ignorance. How then could Vitusur have attained such exalted love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan? So in this world, or in this material world, everyone's obsessed with the modes of passion and ignorance. This is our problem, that we are very passionate about material things, and a lot of things we're just ignorant about. However, unless one conquers these modes and comes to the platform of goodness, there is no chance of one's becoming a pure devotee. This is confirmed by Lord Krishna himself in Bhagavad-Gita. Yesham tav antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moho nirmukta bhajante mam dridha vrita. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Since Vitasur was among the demons, Maharaj Parikshit wondered how it is possible for him to have become such an exalted devotee. So this is the thing. So I mean, we have come to Krishna consciousness. We must be doing something right, and we may have done something right in our previous lives, and we missed out. We didn't pass the exam, and here we are. But we are definitely attracted to bhakti. We are attracted to Krishna consciousness. Where you see other people, they come and a few weeks later they leave. They just can't find any attraction in it, or they're focusing on the wrong things. They're focusing on the people, maybe the setup itself. Why are you doing that? It's all about bhakti. It's not about material things. We should know that people are same wherever you go. You can go to the most, the best congregation. You will see people are same everywhere. There's always different ingredients to make a pot, right? Make a curry. So people are same mentality like that. You'll have different people with different mentalities in a congregation. Everybody's not going to be in the mode of goodness. We should understand that. People will be in the different modes and different stages of their bhakti. And we have to accept people as they are. Really, this you can change yourself, you can't necessarily change other people. So we have to change our mindset. We can't change other people's mindset. So demigods situated in the mode of goodness and great saints cleansed of the dirt of material enjoyment hardly ever render pure devotion service at the lotus feet of Mukunda. Therefore, how could Vritasur have become such a great devotee? Right, so that's the question. Let's just pray first of all. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Girim Yat Kirpatamam Vandeshi Gurun Din Taranam Paramananda Madhvam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hariyam Tassat Narayan Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Uduriyat Nasta Presha Abdureshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nestiki. Okay. So in this material world, there are as many living entities as atoms, which means that every atom must be alive, right? As a soul. Among these living entities, a very few are human beings, and among them, few are interested. O best of the Brahmins, Shukadeva Goswami, out of many persons who follow religious principles, only a few desire liberation from the material world. See, most people don't even want it. Among many thousands of who desire liberation, one may actually achieve liberation. So, among so many, countless number of people, only a few desire liberation, and among many thousand who desire liberation, only one may achieve it. So it's really that, it's like that. Giving up material attachment to society, friendship, love, country, home, wife, and children. And among many thousands of such liberated persons, one who can understand the true meaning of liberation is very rare. So, as we know, there are four classes of men or people, namely karmis, jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas. So this statement pertains especially to karmis and jnanis. A karmi tries to be happy within his material world by changing from one body to another. So we just taking birth again and again, doing karma, taking birth according to our karma. So karmi tries to be happy within this material by changing one body to another. His objective is bodily comfort, either in this planet or in another. When such a person becomes a jnani, however, he aspires for liberation from material bondage. Among many such persons who aspire for liberation, one may actually be liberated during his life. Such a person gives up his attachment for society, friendship, love, country, family, wife, and children. Among many such persons who are in the vanaprastha stage, one may understand the value of becoming a sannyasi, completely accepting the renounced order of life. O great sage, among many millions who are liberated and perfect in knowledge of liberation, one may be a devotee of Lord Narayan, O Krishna. Such devotees who are fully peaceful are extremely rare. So, Vittasur was situated in the blazing fire of battle and was an infamous sinful demon, always engaged in giving troubles and anxieties to others. How could such a demon become so greatly Krishna consciousness? So it's a lesson for all of us that sometimes you might see somebody, who's a bit of a troublemaker, but they can still be Krishna conscious. This is the thing, right? So we can't go by the externals that, oh, this person is really bad, or they speak like this, or they abuse everyone. But they can still be Krishna conscious. According to this, these contradictions have caused me great doubt, and they have made me eager to hear of this from you. So how can a person who seems like really not connected be so connected? So Sri Sutta Goswami said, after hearing Maharaj Parikshit's very intelligent question, Sukadeva Goswami, the most powerful sage, began answering his disciple with great affection. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, I shall speak to you the same history I have heard from the mouths of Vyasadeva, Narad, and Devla. Please listen with attention. So these are like the Mahajans. O King Parikshit, in the province of Shurasen, now we're going to talk about Citraketu. So basically what we're saying is that a person in this life, whatever karma they're doing, their previous karma also kicks in as well. It's not just this life's karma, it's the previous karmas that are taking place as well. So if somebody is doing bad karma, but is still attracted to God, or is getting a lot of goodwill, is due to the past karma, not due to the karma of this life. So, O King Parikshit, in the province of Shursen, there was a king named Citraketu. who ruled the entire earth. During his reign, the earth produced all the necessities for life. This Citraketu had 10 million wives, but although he was capable of producing children, he did not receive a child from any of them. By chance, all the wives were barren. So, what's the chance of that? 10 million wives, and they all turned out to be barren. So, it's hard to imagine like that. Chitraketu, the husband of these millions of wives, was endowed with a beautiful form, magnanimity, and youth. He was born in a high family. He had complete education, and he was wealthy and opulent. Nevertheless, in spite of being endowed with all these assets, he was full of anxiety because he did not have a son. His queens all had beautiful faces and attractive eyes, yet neither his opulences, his hundreds and thousands of queens, nor the lands of which he was the supreme proprietor were sources of happiness for him. So sometimes, we can have everything, but if we are focused on something that we don't have, then you can't be happy. This is the thing that you're focusing on what is not there rather than what is there. You don't look at the positives, you look at the negative. Then how can you be happy? So once upon a time, when the powerful sage named Angira was traveling all over the universe without engagement, by his sweet will he came to the palace of King Chitraketu. Chitraketu immediately stood up from his throne and offered him worship. He offered drinking water and eatables, and in this way performed his duty as a host to a great guest. When the rishi was seated very comfortably, the king, restraining his mind and senses, sat on the ground at the side of the rishi's feet. O King Parikshit, when Chitraketu bent low in humility, was seated at the lotus feet of the great sage, the sage congratulated him for his humility and hospitality. The sage addressed him in the following words. The great sage Angira said, My dear king, I hope that your body and mind and your royal associates and paraphernalia are well. So when the 7 properties of material nature, the total material energy, the ego, the 5 objects of sense gratification. So these are 7 properties of material nature. The total material energy, the ego, and the 5 objects of sense gratification, our senses, are in proper order. The living entity within the material elements is happy. Without these 7 elements, one cannot exist. Similarly, a king is always protected by 7 elements. His instructor, his guru, that's 1. His ministers, his kingdom, his fort, his treasury, his royal order, and his friends. So at the time of death, you have to sort of give up all these things. As it is quoted by Sridhar Swami in his Bhagavatam commentary, Swami Amatayau Janapad Durga Darvina Sanchaya Dando Mitram Sa Tasyataha Sapta Praktro Mataha. A king is not alone. He first has his spiritual master, the supreme guide. Then come his ministers, his kingdom, his fortifications, his treasury, his system of law and order, and his friends or allies. If these 7 are properly maintained, the king is happy. Similarly, as explained in Bhagavad-Gita, the living entity, the soul, is within the material covering of the Mahat Tattva, ego, and Panch Tanmatra, the 5 objects of sense gratification. When these 7 are in proper order, the living entity is in a mood of pleasure. Generally, when the associates of the king are quiet and obedient, the king can be happy. Therefore, the great sage Angira Rishi inquired about the king's personal health and the good fortune of his 7 associates. When we inquire from a friend whether everything is well, we are concerned not only with his personal self, but also with his family, his source of income, and his assistants or servants. All of them must be well, and then a person can be happy. So when we meet someone, we always ask, how are you? How's work? How's the family? How's your mom? How's your dad? You inquire. At least in the old days, they used to do that. I don't know so much now, but you inquire about their family and how their well-being and work, everything like that. O king, O lord of humanity, when a king directly depends upon his associates and follows their instructions, he is happy. Similarly, when his associates offer their gifts and activities to the king and follow his orders, they are also happy. The actual happiness of a king and his dependents is described in this verse. A king should not simply give orders to his dependents because he is supreme. Sometimes he must follow their instructions. Similarly, the dependents should depend on the king. This mutual dependence will make everyone happy. So it's going to read that again. The actual happiness of a king and his dependents is described in this verse. A king should not simply give orders to his dependents because he's supreme. So he shouldn't just give orders. Sometimes he must follow their instructions as well. Similarly, the dependents should depend on the king. This mutual dependence will make everyone happy. So a leader should not just give orders. Sometimes he should follow as well. Just like in a family as well. The parents, they are telling their children what to do, but sometimes they have to follow their orders as well. And Radharani says, yes, she agrees with that. So that's nice. That's nice. O king, are your wives, citizens, secretaries, and servants, and the merchants who sell spices and oil under your control? Are you also in full control of ministers, the inhabitants of your palace, your provincial governors, your sons, and your other dependents? The master king and his subordinates should not be interdependent. Through cooperation, both of them should be interdependent. Through cooperation, both of them can be happy. Yeah, they help each other like a team. It's teamwork rather than a hierarchy of just giving orders and you do as you're told. Then nobody can be happy. Because people, they don't just want to take orders. Sometimes they want to discuss things and reach a mutually beneficial agreement as well. Same with Krishna. When we serve him, he's not just giving us orders, we have to serve him. He serves us back. That's the system Krishna follows, and we should follow the same. If the king's mind is fully controlled, all his family members and governmental officers are subordinate to him. His provincial governors present taxes on time, without resistance, and what to speak of lesser servants. And here she asked the king whether his mind was also under control. This is most essential for happiness. O King Citraketu, I can observe that your mind is not pleased. You seem not to have achieved your desired goal. Is this because of you yourself, or has it been caused by others? Your pale face reflects your deep anxiety. So in a way, Gira Rishi, I think he knew the issue that might be affecting the king. That's why he came to see him, but he didn't want to say it directly. He wants to hear it from the king, what the actual problem is. And obviously he has come to help him somehow, if he can help him. So King Chitraka said, O great Lord Angira, because of austerity, knowledge, and transcendental samadhi, you are freed from all the reactions of sinful life. Therefore, as a perfect yogi, you can understand everything external and internal regarding embodied conditioned souls like us. So he's declaring that you know that there is an issue because you are knowing everything. Oh, great soul, you are aware of everything, yet you are asking me why I'm full of anxiety. So the king, he's quite smart as well. He knows that the sage knows that there is an issue, and yet he's just asking to hear from him. Therefore, in response to your order, let me disclose the cause. So he follows the instructions anyway. As a person aggrieved by hunger and thirst is not pleased by the external gratification of flower, garlands, or sandalwood pulp, I am not pleased with my empire, opulence, or possessions, which are desirable even for great demigods, because I have no son. So he has declared to the Rishi, why he's aggrieved, what problem he has. Although he understands that I have everything one could ask for, but he's still focused on the fact that he didn't have a son. And for a king, it's important because he needs an heir to the throne. He can have millions of wives, he can have all the opulences, but who's going to take over from him? And that was his dilemma. But should we worry about things like that? Because when you're gone, you're gone. It's like everybody's traveling. What does it matter after you've gone? What happens where Krishna, God is there. He decides, let him decide what happens to any dynasty or any power. But he was like concerned that after I've gone, there'll be like problems in the kingdom. Because I guess because he was like the kings were like parents of the citizens of the kingdom. They felt responsible for everything there, even the animals and the trees, all living entities that they felt responsible for. So they're worried that there might be problems once they're gone. They want somebody to take over, train somebody no better than like their own child. They can train him up to become king and do the needful once the king has passed away, and then the king would be just as merciful to the citizens as him. So we'll leave it here, but it's a nice pastime, and this was Vittasur in his previous life. So we're basically discussing three lives of Maha Citraketu. So there's King Citraketu, and then there's the king of Vidyadhar planet, and then he becomes Vritasur, demon. So how many, like different stages, one life with a demon, one life with a king. We probably have been through all these things because we've had millions of lives. We have tasted every position. We have been a servant, we have been a master, animal, plant, tree, reptile, insect, fish, everything. I'm sure, we go through the whole stages. This soul has traveled through so many lives. Once you come in the material world, it's not easy to escape this magnetic pull that holds us down. The gravity keeps us here, but there is a way, and we're lucky that we have seen, the solution to this problem, which we probably haven't seen in many previous lives, and we see, and we can't. Now we can say, what? Well, why didn't you see it's right there, staring us in the face? Why didn't we see the solution? Well, ask the other, billions of people who have not seen the solution. It's the way it is. Because we are not focused on that. It's not a priority. Just like King Chitraketu, everything else is not priority for him. Although it's all there, his priority is having a son. He's got 10 million wives. Somebody might be very happy having 10 million wives, but he's not bothered about that. He's more bothered about having just one son, right? So it's, where the attention goes, that's where the energy flows. This is the system. So thank you so much for joining. Praveen Mataji, hopefully Ashok Prabhu is listening. My father Loji, Mother Sham Sundar Prabhu, Pundikaksh Prabhu, and Sarvashriya Gopi Mataji. Thank you for joining, and we'd love to hear from you. Mataji, first of all, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Nice topic, Citraketu, about Citraketu. Citraketu, he was a king. He had everything. The king, what should the king have? Should have. He had everything, but his mind was not happy. If the mind is not happy, you don't feel happy anything. Then it doesn't matter you got everything in your possession, but if the mind is not happy, you don't feel happy. And because the mind is always mind's work is to feel and think. So his mind wasn't feeling. He wasn't feeling nice because he had no son. And so everything looked so dull to him, and then that's why he was feeling like that. And then it says we are born of three modes of material nature according to our past karma, and we act according to it. Okay, if you are born in the mode of goodness, then you become devotee, and if our born mode of passion, you become karmi, license, gratification, and you are born like animals, then you act like animals. As soon as you are born in one of those material nature, you act like that. As soon as dog is born, you act like a dog. So one can elevate or degrade himself through the good or bad association. So Brittasura, he was a Citraketu, so that's why he had good characters. And a few people want liberation from material bondage because they have too much attachment and they like to enjoy their life. They like good families, good homes, good societies. So they don't care about the liberation, that they thought that they're going to carry on. And a lot of people say, we've got one life, you must enjoy your life. But we haven't got one life, we've got so many, 8,400,000 lives. And there are different classes of men. There are karamas, yogis, jnanis, and bhaktis. And karamis, they like instant gratification. And jnanis, they know everything, they've got knowledge, but they don't want to do devotional service to the Lord Krishna. They know that, and they just want to merge into Brahma vigilance. And yogis, they always try to have union with the Lord. They want to become one with the Lord. And bhaktas, they want to save the Lord. That's what bhaktas, that's what they call das. They know everything belongs to Krishna, and he's the proprietor of everything. Nothing belongs to them. So just like a king, he's got everything. And the seven know that everything belongs to the king. He's got nothing, but he likes to save the king. And Vritasura was a pure devotee of the Lord in previous life. That is why he had good qualities and never forgotten Krishna while he was fighting, because Vritasura was Citraketu, and Citraketu was a pure devotee of the Lord. But as a king, all the king, they want a son. They want a son to carry on. Inherit the things they want to carry on. Some son will become king, and that king. So it was very important. They say without a saying, the house is not a house, especially king. And so his mind wasn't settled. And then he met Angira, and he started to give him advice about what is the life, what you should do in the life. And in all these things, we mustn't forget Krishna. I mean, because it's our karma. Sometimes everything happens because of our karma. If it is said that if can't have son, there is not enough karma. You don't have son. But if you by force you have, then the result is not very happy, because everything should happen naturally. So that's what is. So Citraketu, he wasn't happy because he had no son and his mind wasn't settled, and so he will lamented. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, you have to um, yeah. I mean, he should like Prabhupada says that don't need to over endeavor. If you meant to get something, you just endeavor, and you should get it. Over endeavoring, it's like if you're still not getting it, then there's a reason. There's kind of protection behind it. So, like, you should realize, like, 10 million wives, old barren. How is that possible? Can't have a child. I understand that now it's not meant to happen, but he was not giving up. Um, but there's a reason why it's not happening, and it's same in our lives that we're trying to achieve something and we waste so much time and energy on it, but it still doesn't work for us. Then we should understand that that's not our path. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. That's not what we're supposed to be trying to achieve. And you leave it, do something that is easier for you, that comes a bit more easily. Not that you don't do anything, you do what comes a bit more easily for you. What your qualities are like that. It's like they say your prescribed duties sometimes mentioned as well. Do what is your psychophysical nature. That also, although it doesn't do having a son, but the saying that endeavor wise, do something that comes a little bit easier than trying to achieve something that other people are trying to achieve, and you're really not any good at it. So it's like that. Thank you so much, Madhuri. Pundikash Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Prabhuji, my mind was here and there, so if I make anything wrong statement, please forgive me for today, for every time. So I like this point where it says that king should not just give the orders, but there should be mutual dependence. So even in our temple, we engage in so many services. So we see one person is leading one particular service, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that he won't engage in any other service, but he still engage in any other service, because that helps us to actually understand the devotees as well, and mutually work together. And this is like perfect example for me in my workplace, because of my manager who is very nice. So he gave me an opportunity to lead a project, but at the same time I'm also working as a team member in another project. So that project lead is actually working as a team member in my project. So it gives an opportunity to actually how to deal with other members as well when you work in both ways, as a lead and as a member as well. And Krishna give us back. So whatever we are offering to Krishna, Krishna is not just keeping it with him, but he is actually giving us um, for our benefit. And another point where you mentioned that he said, like, when the spiritual master came, he said actually he might be knowing what is actually happening in his mind, within his mind.
Mm.
So this is really nice point, because when a disciple builds that relationship with the spiritual master, then spiritual master will definitely understand a disciple, even though it's not spoken to him. And for me, I have taken initiation, but I did not build that kind of relationship with the spiritual master. Otherwise, my spiritual master will guide me 100%. Um, Even though he's not present on the planet, but he can still guide me through his Vani 100%, through his classes, when that relationship is built at that level, heart to heart. Um, And it's mentioned that many people come for bhakti, but only hardly one get thinking of how to liberate from this material world. But out of so many, that person also only one will actually reach, understand Lord Narayan, come to the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. So again, so many people come to the temple to worship, but again, it depends on what is your motivation behind coming to the temple. That will decide your destiny as well. That's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Yes, motivation is very important. What is driving you? Are you looking for glory, or are you looking for a lot of friends, or are you actually looking for bhakti as well? I mean, it's nice to have some glory. It inspires us to do more. You know, it's nice if people can say that you've done well, or so and so is doing good. It's inspiration for us to continue. If nobody takes notice, you think, well, I'm wasting my time, because nobody really cares whether I'm helping or doing anything or going out of my way. So it's nice to have that. It's nice to have friends there. People you can go and see, have association, and share Krishna consciousness. So all these things are important, but are they most important? That's something. We need all these things for us for bhakti. It's not that we need all these things. We need them for our bhakti. That should be the way that these are just steps to our goal. Not the goal itself. Whether it's friends or glory. That's not the goal. That is that just complements what you're trying to achieve. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Praveen Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sorry, I could not listen to the class. I was physically present because I had to take a call from hospital. I'm really sorry. And if you need to do rounds, if I can do first, because my father-in-law is on his way from hospital.
No problem.
So I'll have to open the door and, so.
That's fine. I think we're all distracted by a sound of it. Even I said Sunday because Radharani is trying to get my attention, so even my attention was split. So it's okay. That's fine. Now Radharani, maybe she will focusing, right? Go on then. Tell us.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Beautiful pastimes. So these pastimes of Dhritarashtra, they started as when he was a demon in one of his lives, and now we're hearing how he was a king in one of his lives. So actually, this I was actually envisioning that how we have been traveling through different species. We look at some species and say, "Oh, yuck! What kind of life they're living, like rats or some lower animals." Because they haven't got any sense of cleanliness, hygiene, and anything. They just when they're hungry, they'll eat. When they are miserable, they'll fight, and so on. So I was thinking that amazing, amazing. So we have come to this level that we can discuss about God, we can speak about God, we can sing about God, we can worship God. So we have been actually given so many training by Lord Krishna in different lives. So we haven't just come here just like that. We have been through all the stages of the like they say in the academics from class 0 to the topmost level. So you just don't come to a position or to a standard just like that. You have worked hard. You should congratulate your souls. As souls, you should congratulate yourselves. We should be actually happy. Not, I wouldn't say proud, because then the ego will kick in. Then we will start feeling the superiority thing in our heads. No, we have to understand that our souls have worked so hard, and we shouldn't just get just busy or just what do you call it, like they say, don't get entangled into the body form, that I'm this, because this body is made of 5 elements, and these 5 elements they belong to the earth, and that's the rule of the God's kingdom, that the elements which belong to the earth, they will stay behind, and the element which is soul, the spiritual part, is going to traverse further up. And also, another thing which came to my head was like when we are traveling to some dhams, if we are just going to go there for example, you're going to Vrindavan and you're thinking that you're just going to have the lassi and the brajvasi pere there, then that's it. That's it. Your conscious is only stuck up to that level. And if you are hankering, you're longing that, oh, I'm going to see the darshan of the deities there, and I'm going to have association with all the senior devotees there, listen to the nice classes or the visiting sannyasis, and try to visit the holy places and try to hear more about them, try to do some serious japa sitting there. But if your mind is just going there for just shopping business, then Krishna will grant us that our mind, when our mind has decided something, we know that the mind is already there in that shop, in that place, and that's it. When you'll come back, you will realize that, oh, I have missed the opportunity. I had this beautiful opportunity. I could have sat on the banks of the holy Yamuna and do some serious chanting. I could have sat in front of the arch vigrahas of the Lord, in front of the, for example, in our ISKCON temple, in front of the God Nitai and Krishna Balram and Radha, Shamsundar deities or Srila Prabhupada. I could have done my japa there. I could served in some capacity in the temple. But if our mind has already decided which course it's going to take, mind is such a strong force, and mind is Krishna. Krishna says you can't get hold of mind because mind is Krishna and time is Krishna. So we have to have our focus very clear. If the focus is not clear, so we will be like, so many in the roll call of this world, among the thousands and millions, we might just listen to one class and feel very happy that I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to do this. But if I'm not going to make most of the time here, then nothing's going to happen. So yes, this pastime brings this point to me very clearly, that we have to be very focused from moment to moment in our lives. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go on to